structure and function of mammalian cell. We have learned many things about it in spite of that. As it is included in our competency, we have to say something about it. Cell and its organelles. You know the cells are of different types, and no cell can be called as typical cell. In spite of that, there are some features that are common, and you can also answer what are the organelles. Organelles are, you can remember from your memory, secondary courses or secondary courses. Most of the cells contain nucleus. It is an organic. Mitochondria, lysosome, peroxisome. These are called organelles. Most of the organelles, they have some membrane around it. And those have not this membrane, you may always part of a cell, but not typically it is an organelle. And every cell surrounded by a membrane, and your common sense dictates that it might be something that is not water soluble. It might be liquid. Otherwise, how it is possible to entrap some amount of water by a cover? It is only possible with the help of lipids. You have general knowledge regarding lipids in higher secondary courses, and here it is the phospholipids. Glycerophospholipids, and to some extent there is a sphingolipids also. Glycerophospholipids. Bilayer glycerophospholipids. Bilayer. Chemical structure of phospholipids, their formation, their degradation, you have to learn in the department of biochemistry. And it is overlapping elements. And I discussed it first day that some part will be discussed by all other departments also. But we have to mention a few, and you can only listen, and your understanding will be better, I think. Phospholipids, they are glycerophospholipids mainly, and it contains a glycerol backbone. And 1 and 2 position, it contains fatty acid. Mostly unsaturated fatty acid at the 2 position, stereospecific number. And in 3 position, it contains a ester formation with a phosphate group. And with this phosphate is attached nitrogenous bases or other compounds. That is the fatty acid, moieties, glycerol, and phosphoric acid. They form the phosphatidic acid. And with this phosphate group, when it is linked is choline, there is a phosphatidyl choline, and it may be ethanolate, phosphatidyl ethanolate, or it may be something else like inositol, phosphatidyl inositol. In this way. And they form bilayers, and it is the nature's design, so that the lipids, they are always opposing each other. So there might be something arrangement so that the watery part is exposed to watery part of the molecule and be exposed to the water either in the cytosol or in the extracellular. And within the membrane there must be an area which is hydrophobic. So bilayer is the ideal structure for this, and it has been proven. And it is expressed in the figure in this way. Suppose it is this polar group, and these are every book you will find this type of thing. And it is the polar group, and it is the fatty acid moieties, and they come in such a way, and in this position it is the water and water, and it is the in this part is the lipid rich region, and in this way it is, you can consider a circular form. This bilayer structure is lipid is produced. And in this case, there are also specialization of this. That is, some choline containing they are in the outside, and amine containing they are mostly on the inside. Suppose this is the ECF, and this is the IC. And lipids have some specification. That is the outer layer, and inner layer everything. Outer lipid, it contains choline containing. The basic structure is like this. Suppose it is the glycerol backbone, then CH2, CH, and this fatty acid. This is choline. These are this disposition there. In the ester form, not in the ether form, ester form it is. Ester form, they are fatty acid 1, fatty acid 2, and in this way. And this is the polar form. This is the polar part. And these are fatty acid long chain, and they are the non-polar part. Or hydrochloric. Suppose it may be, stearic acid or palmitic acid. If it is stearic acid, CH3, CH240, COH, and it unites with the hydroxyl group, and they form this compound, ester compound of this glycerol compound, and they together they produce the phosphatidic acid, and when it unites with choline, they form phosphatidic choline. It is also called lecithin, and it may be ethanolamine. Or it may be inositol, phosphatidyl inositol, and it's a hydroxy alcohol, inositol, and they are disposed in this way. So this part, fatty acid moieties, they are this, and this part you consider these are hydrochloric. And in this case, suppose unsaturated fatty acid, and they are called hydrophobic, and they are in the independent. So they are now closed spin type of structure. It is a hydrophobic part, and it is hydrophobic part. And this depth is 7.5 nanometer. It is very. Besides this, they also contain sphingomyelins. And its derivatives, sphingolins. In sphingomyelins, that is this glycerol moiety is replaced by sphingosine, unsaturated amino alcohol, sphingosine. And when fatty acid moiety is attached to it, it is called ceramide. Detailed structure you can find in biochemistry tests. It is like that. I can commit mistake, but in this way they are. And when a fatty acid moiety is attached with this, they form this is called ceramide. And this hydroxyl group can attach with another compound, another compound. It may unite with the phosphoric acid moiety, and also subpolyp. It is called sphingomyelin. Or there may be some converted moieties may be attached to this. Then it is derivatives of sphingolipids, gangliosides, and their lipids. Details are included in biochemistry text, but we have some idea regarding this in physics. And they are disputed. Sphingomyelins, and there is the choline-containing compound, that is this phosphatidyl choline. They are prepared this outer lipid. They are here is the amine containing. Ethanolamine, phosphatidylethanol is the amine containing. They prepare this part. And it is the nature design so that it can do its functions appropriately in different sites of the body. And if you consider that they are, if you consider the two-dimensional structure, a part, then these lipid molecules can move into this direction, and they can rotate in this fashion. But this changing of these parts, flip-flopping is difficult. It rarely occurs. In some abnormal conditions, it is possible that is phosphatidylethanol can have their outside lipid. But diffusion along this lipid in the particular part is possible. It is possible.
Sir,
No. It is possible. And this process, how this is produced, how these phospholipids are produced. They are produced in different sites, and they are inserted into the membrane. And how they are inserted, in which direction could be, and it is an interesting problem. And biochemistry takes this main interest regarding this. Not only these proteins, they are also in the membrane proteins. Cell membrane, they contain and this lipid layer, they are almost impermeable to charged molecules and large polar molecules. But a water molecule can traverse through. But there are different types of proteins that are embedded. Suppose this is the type of a protein. It may be another type of protein. It may be in this way. They are into. And those which enter through and through, and part of this layer, they are called integral proteins. And there are some proteins that start from outside. And these are called peripheral proteins. And they can be removed easily by different detergents. Peripheral proteins. They have either electrostatic attraction or there may be covalent bonding with the peripheral, this parts of the protein, or it is with the lipids, they can have make action with lipids. Peripheral proteins, they have connection, either they are lipidated or they are GPI anchors. In this way they are disposed. Or with these proteins. Integral proteins. Lipidated means that is they have the lipid components with which they form covalent bonding also. Lipidated. Suppose it is given in the text. Suppose it is this, consider it is a boundary, and it is the watery part, and it is the lipid. Suppose it may be mildly steolated, palmiculated, or there may be, or it is penidated. In this way, they are displayed. In the watery part, they contain the protein part, that is polar, and it is the lipid part across the membrane, and the watery part may be ECF or it is IC. Suppose in case of lipid protein that unites in this way, suppose CH3 CON protein and COOs. In this way, they can be attached. Common mistake, what you have to read the book to find if I committed some mistake, and that will enrich your knowledge. Classes are for that you can have interest in your subject. You can go deep into subject. It does not mean I know everything and I will commit from my memory. It is not for the class, is not for us. So we have to go to this text and have some notes. Correct notes. I may deliberately do some mistake. Then you find out that this is the wrong and your concept. It is my mistake, it may be permitted. Not only this in this way, but in other way it can be. In palmitic acid, if you consider, it is CH3, CH240, so it is this boundary, and it is the SH group, sulfide group of 16 moiety in the C terminal of this protein. And these formulas are given in the text to give some idea of the reader that there is no fixed rules. That is in the always COH group, it may be NH2 in this way. It is palmitoited and it unites with this group. Sulfide group. Some will be penidated, farnesyl or geranyl groups. They will be attached in this. Farnesyl group, it has the structure like this. In this way, they can get, and in this way, their structure is like this. In this way, yeah. Harnessing. The chain length is more in general, and it is called penidated. Suppose if you take some part, you will find this type of structure. CH3 in this way, this part, in this part. Penidated, and it will find it will be generally, and also GPI atoms. GPI anchors. GPI anchors, that is the disabled. It contains inositol. Suppose in this case, that is it is the inositol. And then a carbohydrate moiety, that is the glycan group, and to this is attached with this protein. Glycosylated phosphatidyl inositol, GPI anchor. Glycosylated phosphatidyl inositol anchor, which there is a protein moiety, that is the C-terminal end can join. In this way, good number of proteins, they are peripheral proteins, they are attached in this way. And we are discussing about the peripheral proteins. How they are attached to the either individual proteins or they are with lipid molecules. They will be myliatic acid or palmitic acid or farnesyl group or geranyl group or say GPI anchors. In this way they will be attached. And GPI anchor is very much important. About 40 proteins, they are attached in this way. And as in this. This is phosphatidyl group, phosphatidyl inositol, and this is glycan moiety, and it is protein with this formation. Basic concept is this: 40 proteins. It includes alkaline phosphatase. It includes alkaline phosphatase. Some cell addition molecules, some antigens, and some proteins that complement mediated RBC lysis. And they are important in this. And these protein molecules in the cell membrane, they can move in this direction, and they can diffuse in this direction, and they can rotate in this way. But there is this split problem, there is the A to in this way, that is the rotation in this way, is difficult. Due to some thermodynamic problems or there's some variance, it is difficult. Cell addition molecules. We will discuss some antigens and some proteins that can have some effect in protecting the RBC membrane by complement components. Paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria or some type of disease can occur in this. Everything is written in the book. I cannot remember everything in detail, but some outline I can give. And in some cases it may be also defective. So it is your duty to go through this book and have perfect knowledge. Now these functions of the cell membrane is that its permeability is limited. It is permeable to lipid substances, but it is almost impermeable to water, and that is the polar group. Non-polar gases do easily. Through this interstices of this, water molecule can pass. Water molecule can pass. And also gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, anesthetic gases, that can easily. But not charged molecules. Sodium ion, potassium ion, because they are surrounded by water molecules. Their hybrid forms are larger and cannot penetrate. So there may be requirement of other systems, proteins, help of the protein, so that they can go in or outside. And this function of the cell membrane is almost equivalent to the functions of these proteins. Functions of these proteins. Now, they have structural functions also. They can connect with the extracellular matrix proteins and intracellular, that is the cytoskeletal elements. Structural form, they can have their effect. But they have cell addition molecules and this membrane, they call cell addition molecules. They bear cell addition molecules and clusters of differentiation. And they act as carriers. Some of the ion pumps. Some are ion channels. Some are antibody or antigen processing. That is related to immunity, antigen elements. Some are receptors, and some are enzymes. So different types of functions they have. And now the tests that in the market you are reading, they are student print and they categorize in this and they have discussed one after another. It is for the benefit of the students. So these classes, I should not cover everything, but some aspect we can discuss. Suppose it is the consider how this antigen and these are the functions. Cell addition, we can discuss something about cell addition. These cells are attached to one another and to the basement membrane by this cell addition molecule. And they are of different types and known by their acronyms also. Cell addition. And they are of different varieties. Some are integrins, cadherin, immunoglobulins like molecules, selectives, and they are produced by the cell, and they are disposed in such a way for the benefit of this their function. Integrins, they are heterodimers. Integrins are heterodimers. And what are they? What is the cell membrane and heterodimers? Alpha, beta, they are heterodimers. And they can bind with these inner cytoskeletal elements outside, and it can bind to other elements on the outside. Structural function. There is this. It is the integrins are heterodimers, and they have different functions. Besides structural function, they have a role in the cellular movement. even coming out of the neutrophil from the blood vessels, they may have role. They are related to intercellular different connections, integrins. And these carriers, they are calcium, they can bind with calcium. And they are situated in intercellular connection. And they can bind with the intercellular, that is the cytoskeletal filaments, intermediate filaments also. Desmosomes, hemidesmosomes, where they have this calcium complex, and they bind homophilically. When like molecules are attached by them, it is a homophilic binding. And like integrins, it is different types of molecules, heterophilic binding. In cadherin, you will find the homophilic bindings, similar type of molecules, or same molecules in a cell. Two neighboring cells, they are become attached, and they require calcium attachment with calcium for their action. They are found in desmosomes, hemidesmosomes. Now, these immunoglobulin-like molecules, they have some functions, like WBC migration or so. Immunoglobulin-like molecules, immunoglobulin, you will learn in hematology. They are how they are produced and what are their types and what are their general structure. And in high textbooks, they also have their mention. Light chain, heavy chain, they have. You can remember. And by the characteristics of the heavy chains, they are named. Immunoglobulin G, immunoglobulin A, D, E in this. Immunoglobulin A. And they have structures resembling this. And that is the selectives. It has lectin-like domains. Lectin means that is they can bind with carbohydrate moieties. They are not considered as glycoproteins or mucoproteins. They can bind particular part. That is the carbohydrate moieties. Some chain of carbohydrates, they can bind. They are called lectin-like domains. They are called selectives. Something L selectives, leukocyte, P selectives, there is platelet, and N selectives, they may neural element. And in this way they are classified. And they have different types of ligands. They have numerous functions, important functions. And detailed discussion you can find in Harper's biochemistry or other biochemistry techniques. Here only mentioned, and selection molecules have some importance. It has a role it is some structural role. It binds the cells together and anchor the cells towards the basement membrane also. And developmentally, it has some function. Development of the nervous system. And along the additional molecules, cells can migrate. So developmentally, they have some role. And they have role in inflammation, growth. And even these spread of cancers, selection molecules, either they are increased or some decrease, they have some different types of lipids. Cells that lose their connection with the neighbors and also with the basement membrane, they can be easily removed by the process of apoptosis. Or if they are expressed in much more extent, then it can help in their migration, even in the cancers. So now these attempts have been made so that this, in case of selection molecules, especially selectives, they cannot unite with their ligands. Finally, the biochemistry takes silent limits X and it is a short chain. That is the four carbohydrate moieties, and it prefers this selectives. They can unite with them. And selectin is a long chain. From the N-terminal side, there is a lectin binding chain and some complement binding chain, and then there is the part that passes through this cell membrane, and then other part, that is the terminal part, and they have different zones and different sites, and they have different functions. And they can unite with the carbohydrate chains, short carbohydrate chains of these molecules. Silent lipid chains, and the structure is given in brief in biochemistry tests. You can go through. And attachment is made, now being made, so that these attachment can be reduced with the drugs or by antibodies. So they may be used in inflammation and other conditions. This is cell addition one. You read in the physiology text. They group in this way and they have this. And you find some points I have forgotten. Now this other part, suppose is the clusters of differentiation, means there is self, non-self. Self, non-self. See, cells, they get some protein from the outer surface that is not present in the other cells. Some antigen specific, suppose T4 cells and T8 cells, when you learn. That is the T4 cells or CD4 cells. They will bear that particular antigen. And CD8, not the CD8. And CD8 cells, they will expose this, only this antigen, not CD8. So clusters of differentiation. Clusters of differentiation are self, non-self. And suppose some cell can produce some proteins or part of the protein and even carbohydrate chain. That may be antigen. Suppose in blood group antigens, they are nothing but carbohydrate moieties, particular carbohydrate moieties. And that is in reality antigen. And this is different in different individuals, A and B, produced by different sets of enzymes that can insert that particular part, particular carbohydrate moiety. Suppose that is a protein chain that is common and a carbohydrate moiety is attached. Suppose in case of blood group B, galactose is attached. And group A, N-acetyl galactosamine is attached. And these enzymes are different. The individual has both these enzymes, they produce A group. But in A group, they do not bear that enzyme that is present in B group. So antigenic differentiation is possible with this. Details you have learned when you immunity in hematology. Now there is ion channels. Ion channels areas are there. Ion channels. Because there is requirement of entry of ions. And they are hydrated, they have hydrated forms. And hydrated forms cannot enter to this lipid barrier. So there must be some channels in the protein. It may be a single integrated protein. It may be, in most cases, it is different proteins or similar proteins. That is, they come together to form an aqueous channel through which it can enter. Suppose you take and there is a pore is produced by this. A hydrophilic pore is produced. There is a pore subunits. Pore subunits, if you take a cross section, you will find that they are attached a linear space. And through this it can enter. Pore subunits, ion channels, through which it can enter. And it can be specific. It may be for the sodium ion, it may be due to this potassium ion or calcium ion, and it is due to the disposition of the specific amino groups. That makes it is, suppose it is in such a way that it can accommodate the sodium ion and with the attached water molecule. It is larger than that of the potassium, and these are negatively charged or charged in such a way that they can allow this to enter, but not potassium ion to enter. Potassium ion has this hydration is less than sodium, so his hydrated form is molar. So if there is some open channels also, leak channels, they are more permeable to potassium. So membrane is generally more permeable to potassium than sodium, because the hydrated form of potassium is larger than that of this sodium. Their nanometer dimension you will find in the tables in the textbooks. Sodium is greater than that of potassium. And these amino acids they are disposed in such a way that it will allow some particular ion with this to enter it, and it is restricting ions. It is a physical process, basically physical process. So that this channel for the sodium ion is unfavorable for the entry of the potassium ion. Unfavorable for the entry. So they are channel specific, and then in some cases, in most cases, this permeability is variable. Suppose during the action potential generation, then these channels will allow temporarily to increase their permeability. Voltage gated sodium channels, and they are similarly ligand gated channels, ligand gated sodium channels or other channels, ligand gated. Suppose the acetylcholine is liberated by the motor neuron at the neuromuscular junction, and it will unite with a particular receptor. And when it unites, then this permeability will be. Then there will be change in the 3 dimension. There is 3-dimensional change of these subunits, and getting that, and in that condition it will allow sodium ion and potassium ion to enter into this, and depolarization will take place, followed by there is the action potential generation that will provide, and in some cases it is voltage gated in neurons and skeletal muscle. They are voltage gated. Whenever there is depolarization, they will behave in such a way and they will expand. And there is conformational change of the proteins. When there is depolarization, normally in a membrane outside is positive charge and inside is the negative charge. And if there is normally it is relatively close state, and whenever it is depolarized, that is the sodium ion is going in this way. There is the positive charge to enters, and then there is movement. If it is negatively charged, and it will move in this way. So there is change in the configuration, and this opening of this channel is possible. There is some structures that are negatively charged, And whenever some depolarization, and they will move in this way, in such a way that there is opening of this channel. In good text, they give some schematic figure for understanding this. Normally it is closed, but whenever it is depolarization, normally the membrane is a polarized structure. Positive charge outside and negative charge inside. And when it is reversed, then there are some pedal-like part, and they can move in this way and also in this way, so that its conformation changes and opening increases transiently, so that the arm can end. Voltage gated channels, and it is important for the generation of generator potential and development of action potential. And it is shortly that you will learn when you learn about this as the non-muscle physiology. Now there are some proteins that act as carriers. Suppose glucose molecule. Glucose molecule cannot enter. Glucose is a water soluble substance, and it cannot easily traverse to the cell membrane. And if there are some carriers, and these carriers may be possible to carry glucose into this. When glucose unites with it, then there is some conformational change. So that is glucose is brought to the insect. Ping pong configuration change. Similarly, it is possible that some ions, sodium ion, can bind with some carrier along with glucose, and this conformational change, so that both the sodium ion and glucose can enter into this. It helps in the process of diffusion, facilitated diffusion. Carriers. And it is the function of the different types of amino acid sequences the nature is produced. Those transport carriers, there is the glucose, that's called glucose, and that salt and glucose is called SGA. And there are similarities in their membrane spanning domains. They have 12 membrane spanning domains, and domains, but their amino acid sequences are different. So carriers do have their effect. Now these receptors, some are particular. The receptors can unite. Receptors can unite with the hormone and the neurotransmitters. Receptors, nucleic acid receptors. That is in the neuromuscular junction mentioned. The ligand-gated receptor. It has different five subunits normally, and this good number of the receptors are required to have the functions of the different hormones. Water soluble hormones cannot enter into the cell. So how they can affect this cell? Intercellular communication in this is possible with the help of the receptor. There is specific receptors that identify this particular molecule. And when this receptor is activated, then the hormone is the first messenger, and second messengers are produced. And in this case, if you consider a typical substance like a glucagon, it unites with the appropriate receptor in the liver cell, and then via the G protein, GTP binding protein, it activates adenylate cyclase that generates cyclic AMP from it. And when cyclic AMP is generated, it will activate the protein kinases, and it will phosphorylate some channels so that this effect is produced. Glycogen breakdown is produced. In this way, the enzymes are phosphorylated, and they have their action. Phosphorylation. Similarly, the different types of actions they can do. 7 membrane spanning domains. Serpentine receptors, they are common thing. That's produced. There is cyclic AMP. Serpentine receptors. they cross the membrane 7 times. 7 times. When these proteins are produced from the ribosomes. Proteins are produced in the ribosomes. Ribosomes are present in both the ways. It may be membrane bound. Ribosomes, you can remember in the Harshini test, in that they contain 2 subunits, 60S and 40S. Due to their behavior in the ultracentrifugation, their mass in this way. They are 60S and 40S. 32, 22, 32 nanometer is their area, and only by electron microscope you can have some idea of that. And it may be within the cytosol, free ribosomes. But major part is connected with the endoplasmic reticulum, rough surfaced endoplasmic reticulum. And this reticulum is present, and this process, that is this protein is produced. And within this endoplasmic reticulum, and along with the Golgi apparatus, and they have do their function. And most of the proteins that is inserted into the membrane, cell membrane, that remains in the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, and also lysosomes and secretory vesicles, they are produced by the endoplasmic reticulum. So pancreatic secretion, gastric secretion, they are produced by the endoplasmic reticulum. Secret outside, secret inside. And where there is modification of this modification, initially produced, they undergo different types of modification. There will be hydroxylation, and there will be some clipping of this part. Signal peptide is clipped, and they are folded. The formation of bisulfate bridges. And carbohydrate moieties do be attached, mostly in the endoplasmic reticulum. And this properly shaped molecule is then coming to the action. And there are everywhere that is cross-checked. And there are some chaperone proteins that can be responsible for their proper folding, so they can be properly utilized. And if the formation is initially defective, then they are sorted out. And then they can be degraded either in the lysosomes or in proteases. বুঝা গেল? যেমন মানুষের আমাদের ক্ষেত্রে কি হয়, আমরা যারা সুস্থ সবল হিসেবে জন্মগ্রহণ করেছি আর যারা দুর্বল হিসেবে জন্মগ্রহণ করেছে, এবং তাদেরকে শর্ট আউট করে রাখা, এবং তাদের কোনো কাজে লাগে, কোন লোক বলতে পারে এদের কি দরকার, মেরে ফেলাই দিচ্ছে। সেরকম আমাদের মতো যাদের বয়স হয়ে গেছে, অ্যাবাভ 60 হয়ে গেছে, তাদের বেঁচে থাকার কোনো প্রয়োজন কিছু আছে বলে আমার মনে হয়, বুঝতে পারবে। যাই হোক, এখন সেরকম গভর্নমেন্ট ডিসিশন না যে এই যুক্তি এবং এবেল বোর্ডের লোকেরা মিলান, আর অ্যাবাভ 60 আমাদের মতো যারা লোক আছে, এই লোকগুলো রিজাল্ট নেই, এদের কোনো দরকার নেই। কিন্তু গভর্নমেন্ট সেটা স্টার্ট ডিসিশন নিতে হবে, বুঝতে পেরেছি? ডিসিশন নিতে পারে, কারণ সবাই বয়সটাই বাড়ছে, এই জন্যই এটা। কিন্তু নেচার সেরকম কোনো নেচার ইজ অলওয়েজ অ্যাক্টিভ, and it always needs activity. So during the protein synthesis, that is checking at efficiency, and when it is defective, then they can be destroyed in the disease, either in proteasome or in the lysosomes. Now, these proteins that is, it may be 12 membrane protein or even 7 membrane receptors, they are produced in the endoplasmic reticulum and within the vesicles. Then vesicles that unite with the cell membrane, and they insert the protein appropriately. And how they are sorted, and it is an interesting thing. They are discussed most in biochemistry tests. How a protein is coming to be secreted, how a protein coming to lysosomes, and how a protein in other cells. They have some ligands, and they dictate that it is reaching at the appropriate place. And if do not reach the appropriate place, then it may be harmful and disease producing. Now these enzymes That is the enzymes are related to this, and now this pumps. And enzymes they are dealing. Enzymes are present in the cell membrane. Cell membrane, protocellular cell membrane, like adenylate cyclase I discussed. Or in case of ion chain, there is the pumps, that is carriers follow the electrochemical gradient. Follow the electrochemical gradient. But whenever there is requirement in the reverse direction, uphill, then cellular energy is required in any form. In most cases, it is ATP that is broken down. Like sodium potassium ATPase. Sodium potassium ATPase is a good example of this pump. Sodium potassium ATPase. It is important for the examination. ATPase. It is important for the examination. Hydrogen pump. Hydrogen pumps. Potassium hydrogen pump in the stomach. Calcium pump. These are these pumps where they can move the molecule, that is against concentration gradient. Against concentration gradient. Suppose in this case of sodium potassium ATPase, you can think that it will transfer, that is the 3 sodium ion from inside to outside. In the outside, there is plenty of sodium ion. The sodium concentration in the ECM, একদম বলো ECM sodium concentration কত থাকে? Sodium concentration in millimole or equivalent per liter extracellular fluid কত থাকে? তুমি একটা বলো কিছু। So 140 millimole per liter. As the valence is 1, there is the milli equivalent result is the same. You can explain milli equivalent also. 140 to 150 millimole or milli equivalent per liter. In this way. And within the cell, potassium is in this concentration. 150 millimole per liter. Valence is 1. 150 milli equivalent per liter. So to push sodium from inside to outside is an uphill move. Both against concentration and electrical gradient. And so energy is required in the form of ATP breakdown. So they are ATPases. So they are ATPases. They are ATPases. Similarly, potassium is less in the extracellular fluid. Potassium concentration, average potassium concentration in extracellular fluid is, remember its average concentration is 4 millimole or 4 milliequivalent per liter. Potassium is extracellular fluid. Now plasma. So to bring this concentration of potassium from there is the outside to inside, it is an uphill process. There is always tendency of potassium to go outside, and normally it is going, and sodium is leaking from extracellular fluid through this membrane to the cell fluid. Normally this process of diffusion is going on, and it is nullified or it is negated by the sodium potassium ATPase, so that this concentration and the membrane potential is maintained. So this is an example. There are the pumps. Similarly, hydrogen ion concentration, if you consider within the stomach, the hydrogen concentration such that the pH is 1.0 to 1.2 or so. Cellular flow within the cell is close to 7.0. So such a uphill transport must require some form of energy. So hydrogen potassium ATPase is present. Whenever there is uphill, it is required. That is the again the concentration and electric gradient. There might be some cellular forces. Here there is ATP breakdown is minor. There and this type of enzymes and anti-histamines and to discuss almost all of these antigen elements, to discuss the enzymes. So these are the different functions of these membrane proteins, and also they are the functions of the cell membrane. So ultimately the cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane. It will some elements to pass through, it will exclude other elements, and this, that is the intrusion or exclusion, is also mediated by this different types of proteins, and they have numerous their functions. Besides structural function, and in according to the function, the proportion of the proteins to lipids do vary. If you go through the biochemistry text, you will find that there is some tables in which cell membrane, what is the number of receptors. Suppose there is a retinal, there is cell membrane, photoreceptor cell membrane, where more proteins are developed, and the protein to lipid ratio is more there. But on average, 50-50 in the mass is considered. On the average, 50-50 mass. As lipids are smaller molecular weight, then in that case, there is one protein molecule. You can consider there is presence of 50 lipid molecules, phospholipid molecules on average. 50-50 in their mass. But it is not evidence. And the proteins present in different cells are different. Mitochondrial proteins do differ from the cell membranes. And the particular cell, it is also polarized. That is, the exposure to the lumen is different from the basolateral, renal and GI. Time is over. So next day we discuss about something related to this cellular function, other parts, intercellular connection, cytoskeleton, molecular molecule, and the remaining part of this. Thank you.